I am happy to be back here. Hope you are doing well. The season is not yet friendly, so be careful out there. The climate change happened and the weather is not as friendly as you think. It might be warm today, cold tomorrow. Be careful, you might end up in hospital and it will not be nice. I am just a trumpet blower. I am just Ezekiel 33. I am just Exodus 33. I am just Jeremiah 33. All the way. I am Jeremiah from 1 to the end. My name is Esther. Esther for such a time as this. And I read Daniel. And I read Ezekiel. And I read Isaiah. Welcome to the big wing. Those who are in the Air Force, I respect you. I carry the uniform with honors. I am here to do my PhD until when I'm done. If you are supposed to be going to school, please go to school and complete your school. Those who have done PhD before, you know what happens while you're doing your PhD. Please don't terminate your school life because the future is bright after the PhD. The future is bright. When you're doing a PhD, you're not supposed to be in class the way others are. It's called a PhD. A PhD. Then I have another certificate I am supposed to study. That one has its own program. I am in the Macua entries kind of thing. I've been to school for 22 years. So now the school I am doing, I control the time. I'm given the time, then it is me to program myself to see how I fit in my entire life. I have a work schedule, I have my school schedule, I have my family schedule, then I have my marriage schedule, then I have my social schedule, then I have my mental schedule, I have my physical schedule, all those, and I have my career schedule. And my career involves my job and my work. The two are different. I have a job and I have work. With the job, we go jobbing and we work for man and he pays. With work, I work for my God. Until one of them has to be terminated. But God's work, no one terminates it. Man can terminate the work. Man can terminate the job. I mean, man can terminate the job, but he can't terminate the work. I always make sure I obey the rules and regulations and do what is right. If I make a mistake, I make sure I pay for the consequences. But if you make me pay for the consequences of your own fault, you're going to read Genesis chapter 12. You and your family and your lineage, 10 generations behind you and 4 generations in front of you. That is a total of 14, plus you, number 15. And when I add 5 and 1, I get 6. Let me hope you come from the Levites. Let me hope your father is a bishop. Let me hope your father is a sheikh. But don't forget, according to the originality of the Muslim sect, sheikhs are princes of Egypt. Let me hope you go to the shrine and you know who a high priest is in the shrine. I believe you believe in something. Those who are in the United States of America keep saying that the man upstairs. There is no man upstairs, my friends. It is me and you who go upstairs, but God does not go to the upstairs. And when we go upstairs, we are going to the war room. We are going to the upper room to pray. Good. Now you keep saying the man upstairs. You know you love confusing words. Keep going upstairs. It is man that goes to the upstairs. God does not go to the upstairs. God owns the universe. God does not stay upstairs. It is you and your father who built a house and you have an upstairs. You have a room upstairs. Let me hope when you go to upstairs, it is only man who sits upstairs because he has an office there. God does not sit in the upstairs, and God does not force himself on people. When you create an environment for his presence to come down, he's coming to sit in your office upstairs. But if you bring compromise in your own self, because the upstairs is here, so you're the man upstairs. Okay. Good. Welcome to the class. The man upstairs, the only man upstairs is you. And the last time I checked here, it is empty. It is always empty. And you call us fools because we are full. I'm not empty. I am a fool.
I heard you heal the broken life. I heard you mend the broken hearts, and I heard you restore the broken soul. Son of David, pass me not. I heard you heal the broken life. I heard you mend the broken hearts, and I heard you restore the broken soul. Son of David, pass me not. Son of David, 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 pass me not. I heard you raise the dead to life. I heard you clothe a man with might, and I heard you raise man on eagle's wings. Son of David, pass me not. I heard you raise the dead to life. I heard you clothe a man with might, and I heard you raise man on eagle's wings. Son of David,
wants to complete, I encourage you to use this time and complete your assignments before it's too late. And if you are a father, be careful how you treat people at work. Be careful how you treat people in the family. Be careful how you treat people on your way to work. While you're seated in your car driving, while you're seated in the bus or the train, depending on where you are, be careful how you treat people in your community. Make sure when you attack someone, you have the full evidence. Make sure when you're causing someone to be fired at work, you have the full report and you have the evidence. Let us read Proverbs 18. Make sure you know the rules and regulations of the game you're playing. And if you are a whistleblower, make sure you're reading the book of John. Make sure you've read the book of Matthew. Make sure you've read the book of Mark and Luke. Make sure you read the book of Proverbs. And make sure you read Judges. You read 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Samuel. Make sure you read the whole 66 books. If you are a leader, I train leaders, I train managers, I train presidents. That is my PhD class. I am a trainer. I train people to go to the next level in their lives. I train mothers. I train fathers because they give birth to the next in line. Be careful when you're opening your mouth about anyone. And be careful when you're destroying people in your families and at work. Because those are called seeds. Because you're planting for your own wife. You're planting for your own son. You're planting for your own husband. You're planting for the next in line. 4 generations ahead of you. Because my 10 generations behind, I am the next generation, that is number 11, the month of November. Then I have 4 generations ahead of me. If I do very well and I pass my PhD highly, I am promised the 5th generation, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 10th. It is a double time and I'll have 10 generations, 20 generations. Can you handle the 20 generations? Most of you are being terminated when you're a toddler. Most of you, your career life was terminated because you never went to school and you don't want to learn a new thing, but you love being used to destroy others so that they can promote you. Now, if you're feeding on distraction, make sure you know what it means to do good in other people's lives, for you to ask for help from anybody else. Welcome to the wing of egos. I'm not learning to fly. I've been flying. This is my 4th year. You're in the Air Force. How long have you been in the Air Force? You've been in the prophetic. How long have you been in the prophetic? Let me make it easy for you. How did you get the power to be a prophet? Is it inborn? Is it a blood issue? Yes, you call yourselves prophets. Is it a blood issue? You're the prophet of the country, you're the prophet of the nations, you're the prophet of your family, that small circle, that small WhatsApp group, you're the prophet at your workplace, you're the prophet, you have even a social media handle where you sit and you tell us what it is happening. The last time I checked, you don't see me in your prophetic moves. Because if you were seeing me in the prophetic, we wouldn't be here. But since you don't see me in the prophetic, you only say, she's seated here. Welcome to the wing. Proverbs 18. Before I read Proverbs 18, I'm going to read Proverbs 8. And I'm going to be very fast. Brace yourself. This is not a church. Here is a training ground. It is iron sharpens iron. And iron sharpens iron is what? Proverbs what? Is it Proverbs or Psalms? I don't know whether you know. But it's none of my business now whether you know or not. Whatever you know, may it help your 20 generations if you have 20 generations. I have 10 generations behind me. I am number 11. I don't know whether you know yours. According to history, they said 10. Let's first read Proverbs 27. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Let another praise you and not your own mouth. Good. A stranger and not your own lips. Now, most of us come out and say, it is my birthday. I fake it until you make it. I am unapologetic. And I'm like, okay, happy birthday. You're unapologetic. When I was growing up, I thought birthdays are surprises. Someone is supposed to surprise you on your birthday. In this season, if you don't come out to surprise yourself, you're in trouble. If you don't come out to say I'm also important, you're in trouble. I, Esther Solomon, have been assured that I come last because of the servanthood that I carry in my blood. A stranger and not your own lips. Stone is heavy. I never wanted to come to church, but the Lord said, you have to go and you have to tell them exactly what I tell you. I said, no, my Jesus, no, you're not opening that wing. That wing has tears. That wing has made me sick for the last 38 years, 39 years. Now this is the 4th year. Now I'm still sick. He's like, Esther, do what I've told you. When you listen to man loves advising. I left a message for you. I will repost it. When man talks, man makes sure that they shut everyone up so that they can talk and say, they command respect. Man, don't command respect, and the respect. You want to be respected? First respect yourself with your mouth and your height and your weight and your size and your country and your accent. First respect everything about you so that people can respect you. Leaders, I'm talking to you. You don't command respect. You earn the respect. How? By using your hands, using your feet. Make sure you use your head, you use your heart. You use from the crown of your head to the heel of your foot. Whatever you produce while you're talking to people will give you a seat at the table of men. The fact that for you to sit at the table of men, you have to destroy someone's reputation, I don't think I'll respect you. I would just ignore you and keep quiet and you talk. Because every time you talk, disaster comes out. Because when you open your mouth, I get to see who sits in your heart. You have no compassion. For you, when you see people cry, that's when you're happy. But make sure your kids don't test your lips. You love kissing every frog, and before you kiss the right girl, men, I told you December is yours. You love kissing every girl you find. Careful, you're going to kiss the devil himself. Because every time you do like this, I get to see your heart. I don't speak my mind. I speak my heart. Because my mind can create anything it wants to create at any time too. Not in my heart. My heart speaks differently. When I do this will be the Esther talking. When I speak from the heart, it is the creator of the universe. G-O-D. Not G-A-U-R-D. Most of you, your pronunciation, you pronounce God as God. It is not God. It is God. You God. You go develop. You go and become a delegate. You go and become a diplomat. You go and become the degree. You go and end up with a PhD when you have a God. But because you pronounce God as God, You look like an askari all the time. You are a monitoring spirit. Your life is to monitor and poke your nose into other people's businesses because of your pronunciation and the way you were raised. When I'm working and dealing with people, I always ask, is that person married? Do they have children? Do they have parents? Where do they come from originally? You're a public speaker. Where do you come from? If you have siblings, what number are you? Did you grow up with your father and mother? Because sometimes we waste a lot of time. And when I start wasting my time with a man or a woman who never grew up with a mother or a father, when I start wasting my time with a divorcee, when I start wasting my time with a woman who sleeps around, a man whose balls are everywhere in every game, I am wasting my energy. When a man who is not a virgin makes noise, I just take off because all I know they are going to rape me. That is all. I stay away. I keep quiet. I don't answer back. When you shout at me and you say you don't want me to talk and you call me mad, you call me stupid and you cuss me out and you are a leader, all I do is just wonder and see, and I'm like, you want me to respect you who is cussing me and abusing me and calling me names at the expense of your own mistakes? All I do is to stay away because this time I'm doing my PhD. It is God. You go and be delivered. You go and be deployed. But since you don't want to be deployed and delivered, you have stunted growth. And you assume you're growing. When you're stepping on other people's happiness to grow, you also call yourself a public speaker. You call yourself a manager. You call yourself a president. You call yourself the king, the queen. You call yourself a mother. My friend, when you have a uterus and you sleep around, you're going to get pregnant. But it doesn't qualify you to be a mother. Don't use the words the wrong way. You're just a woman who gave birth. You're just a basket. A mother nurtures. A mother breastfeeds. A mother does not allow people to cry. A mother does not make you pay for her mistakes. And from a mother we get a grandmother. Men, having a sperm does not qualify you to be a father. It qualifies you to be a male species. You're just a sperm donor. That's why most of you go to the sperm bank. It's called a sperm bank. You are a sperm bank. Until when you represent God, then you become a father. But as of now, please stay in the lane of sperm donors and the male species. Don't come to our wing where we have fathers and mothers who raise kings, who raise queens, who raise daughters and sons, who raise the next in line, who raise managers. I raise managers. I raise kings. I breastfeed presidents. I raise nations. I am a nation because I have a uterus. It is a uterus. Proverbs 27 verses 3. Stone is heavy and the sand weighty. The weight. But a fool's unreasonable wrath is heavier and more burdensome than both of them. Wrath is cruel and anger is an overwhelming flood. But who is able to endure and stand before the sin of jealousy? I've had people who want to know who I am and they're like, who is she? Who does she think she is? My friend, I am a human being. I am a lady. I am a girl. I'm a wife. I am an auntie. I am a grandmother. I'm a great-grandmother. I raise people who add value onto nations. I raise the globe. I am not a material. I am a bone. I was not cut off a material. I was got from a bone. It was on the side. I am not a material. I'm not a wife material. I am a helper from a bone. But since you are a wife material, they will cut you off. I'll deliver the message. I left it on my status on WhatsApp. I am not a wife material. That is why those who don't understand how it works call me a prostitute. Careful with your words. Careful when you don't have the full report. Because the auditor is coming. You're supposed to give a full report. When you go to court, they want the full detailed report. And that will come when it's time for the High Court. In the High Court, they follow it from the start to the end. Then they call witnesses. Don't forget that part, the witness. Who is your witness in all this? Some of your friends don't want to be witnesses, yet they were there when someone was destroying you. I have worked with people like that, so it ain't new. I have experience in that. I've worked with friends and family, and they deny. They even, things happen in camera, and someone denies that it didn't happen. All my witnesses ran away because they fear to be rejected in society. I have seen that at work, I have seen that in school, I've seen that in family, I've seen that in church, I've seen it all. And I'm here to help the man and the woman who is a donor and a receiver. I am here to help those who witness. I am here to help those who sit in justice. I am here to help those who are academic giants. I am here to help those who are media giants. Make sure you meet a general. Because if you are a giant, I raise generals. If you're in the United States of America, do you know the symbols? I come from Uganda, Kampala. We have money, and one of our symbols is the flag. And it has a crested crane, which is on one leg. It represents moving forward. This is gentleness. You see how the flag is flying? It is gentle. This is not German. The German flag almost, but the colors in the German flag are arranged differently. And they put, you see how it's flying? This means this is home. East or west, home is best. I was born, raised, studied. Everything about me is Ugandan. And that will never change. When I go and settle in a land, I get the passport, but I don't become. Yes, they say I am an American citizen. I'm a Ugandan. Born, raised. Born. Because it's a born. Because every time you leave your country, you become an immigrant. If you go there and settle, you're going to look like them. And that means you're going to Egypt for the rest of your life. We have people who have left their countries. They don't know where they come from. There are people who were born here, but they don't come from here. They've never gone to their own countries. They know nothing about where they come from. And you've seen them on social media struggling with life as they're growing up. They ended up meeting the wrong men who molest them, use them to get fame. And you look at your celebrities and you're like, eee! It is because they lack roots. Whenever you lack roots, it's going to be tight. You're going to destroy others because you lack roots. Because a man and a woman who has no roots, they are jealous. A man and a woman who doesn't appreciate their country and keep making noise about their own country and abusing it when they don't have the facts. A friend of mine told me, Esther, you don't know your history, that's why you went and ran away. I normally don't make noise with such men who release such words. I don't have time. I'm a girl who knows my history back to back. I even have history you don't have. The history I have goes up to 1800. It's a legacy. As in your calf, what your legacy is your calf. How has it helped us? How has your calf helped us? You, my general manager, you own the company. So when you own the company, you think when you hire people, but destroy them at work, you're going to get more money. It doesn't work like that. You are a president. You got the opportunity. Now you're the one in, they call them the in charge. I always see people and they're like, I wish I had the group admin. In my mind, I'm like, you're fighting to be the group admin? Do you know how many groups I've created and closed? And some they close me out. They own my work. You have no idea. Do you know how many groups I have created to help people? For you, you're going to come out and tell us, you see now my grandfather had the cow, we had the land, you see, you do, you know. Sweetheart, where I come from, we all have our own empires. Then when time comes, Esther collects all the empires and I put them in one box. It's called a think tank. It's a think tank. We are people who evaluate ourselves before we speak. Many people have tried to educate me, and I'm like, if you were sitting in the classes I teach daily, you wouldn't be educating me. And the Lord told me, Esther, pretend like you don't know what they are talking about. Pretend. Because the Lord saw me going to die in a forced death. The Lord said, Esther, Galatians 5. I'm like, oh. Because you're going to come and tell me and educate me about marriage, children, the word of God, the work, traveling. I, Esther Solomon. All I have to do is to obey and listen. Most of you talk to me. I have 2 ears. I don't just hear like you. I listen. I use my ears. It is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It is Proverbs 8. I am requesting for something. And I have not requested it now. I requested it weeks ago. I informed you early enough. I warned you. But because for you, you just hear. Wherever you come from, your demons just hear. Then they come and they raise everything Esther said, and you say she did not say. I, Esther Solomon, I work with evidence. The first thing the Lord taught me when I was growing up, Tata said, learn how to write, read and write. To me slowly, and now it is sharp. It is a double-edged sword. I just say one word like this. It will be a hollow, and you will feel the hollow in your generations behind you and front. Because me, when I box, it is Nehemiah 4. The punch has to go through you, your wife, your children, your grandfather, your grandmother, your great-grandmother. up to your roots until you know who you are and where you come from. Now you keep punching. My father was a boxer. And he used the boxing to go back to school, and a full generation was turned 49 years ago. A club of a sect, a religion was changed because of this. Now for you, it is a change of 49 years later. Now for you, your existence just brings tears in society. Everyone hates you. They just put up with you. Eh? My friend, when I am in a place, I leave a mark. There are footsteps. I make sure I leave a trail. When you report me anywhere, my trail is going to speak, because I serve a living God. I saw my family members lying about me, my aunties and my nephews and nieces and the uncles and cousins. I saw them lie about me, and all I did was to humble myself. I saw my friends lie about me, telling their spouses about me. I saw church lying about me. I saw my workplace lying about me. I've worked with you before, and you walk around lying about me. It is Nehemiah 4. Make sure you don't walk in sin, because when I send the punch, you don't know how to roll with the punches. I can roll. Even when I'm weak, I roll with the punch. I don't wage war because the battle belongs to the Lord. When you see me go wage war, I have gone to the war room to wage war with my God. Jacob fought with an angel. The energy I have, if I dare bring it out on a human being, you have no idea. Ask those who stay in Florida. I don't wage war. All I do is kneel down, touch my head, and I call upon the Lord, because I command the environment. If you can do the same, keep punching. You have punched immigrants. You have punched people in your families. You have punched people in other countries. The punch we bring is a global punch. I sit on the global team and make decisions for nations. You who sits there and keep saying, oh yeah. You make people pay money to come and I hear you teach them to be public speakers. I look at you and I'm like, public speaking? When someone is a born leader, you who has gone to school to train yourself, I hear you're investing in yourself. Just step aside and clap. The way we clap for you who educate yourself, I hear you. What? You invest in yourself. You become an investment. Basically, we invest in you. I swear. We invest in you to learn how to speak while using us as your you use us as your what? Your guinea pigs. For you to learn to speak. Your mother did not teach you how to speak when you're growing. In hospital, when they give birth to a baby, for the baby to cry. You think it is what? Crying is a sign of life. They wanted to check whether you are alive. When I cry, I'm healthy, I'm alive. It means the pain is too much. I can't bear it anymore. I'm like, stop slapping me. I did not do anything. Leave me alone in my private wing and I sleep. And the Lord is like, excuse me. It is only in your mother's womb where I'll leave you alone, because you're protected. But outside your mother's womb, we are gonna slap the hell out of you if you carry hell anyway. So when you meet people anywhere, in your families, now boys, you got to marry. I told you it's a month for men. Men, if you don't have accountability, please don't go for loans. You love discounts, yet you cannot handle the responsibility. It is originality, availability, accountability, responsibility. Avail yourself, but be on an original. Don't copy and paste things. Make sure you're in the army, but protecting each other. Careful with that mouth. You love the microphone all the time. You love being given a platform which you cannot give others. When you come, me, I have a problem. Because everyone calls it a problem. You don't destroy my reputation, and I just keep quiet and look at you. But because I serve a living God, now you can go ahead and destroy my reputation. Where you want to be promoted, use me as your stepping stone to be promoted in your church, to be promoted in your families, to be promoted at work, to be promoted in that small country where you're seated. Use me as a bait. This will sort you out. It's a sword. In the army, we carry swords. I have my shield. I have my helmet. I make sure my belt is on all the time. I make sure my knees are covered. I make sure my feet is covered. And I make sure my chest, that is righteousness and purity. I make sure my back is covered. So that when I come out, I walk straight. I don't bend my knees. The time I bend my knees, we bow before your throne. 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 And we exhale that our God is mighty. Lift up your name, for you are holy. Sing it again. In all directions, we bow before your throne. 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 And as we exhale that our God is mighty, lift up your name, for you are holy. Sing it again. We were created to worship God, because the only thing God cannot do is worship. How do you worship God at work? How do you worship God in family? How do you worship God in church? How do you worship God in government? How do you worship God in education, in economics, in the media? How do you worship God in the 7 spheres of the earth? How will people know your God? The US says that in God we trust. My country says for God and my country. It is for God and my country. What is your motto, other nations? This is in God we trust. This is for God and my country. Which country do you come from? Do you know your borders? Do you know the fault line? Did you go to school? Yes, I know your country is an English-speaking country. What kind of English do you speak? You don't speak the English, you just drink the English tea. You're not English. You're not an engineer. You're just a meat manager. You're just a fishing manager. You're just an accountant. You're just a CEO. Your job is to sit and do the paperwork. My job is to make sure whatever you wrote was implemented. My job is to make sure the tags are removed the right way. Because when you tag someone, make sure you remove the tag yourself. Because if another person removes it, it's called an accident. Because you have to know why you tagged it. When there is a spill, whoever spilled it has to clean it. Because we don't know the contamination of the spill. Can you give a full detailed report of the incidents? You call yourself, you are in charge of health and safety. My friend, I, Esther Solon, Nachimera with a double N, Mugabi. I am an environmental engineer. I am an environmental impact assessor and auditor. I am a qualified engineer. I am a qualified environmental practitioner. And I am a renewable energy specialist in biogas. I am a Sunday school teacher. I am a mother. I make sweaters. I am a farmer. I make cakes. I make samosas. I am a wife. A mother whose uterus gave birth to fibroids 2013. And in 2018, the uterus got issues again. In 2014, I was told they removed my uterus. So my work in my life was like, since my turn is not yet to have a physical baby, let me raise my friends' babies. I am a game changer in the US to raise the black child the right way. Because the black child has no roots. The white child is going to learn because they love reading. I teach the white and I raise the black. Hence, when you teach and raise, you've done everything and we have peace in a nation. Verses 5 of Proverbs 27. Better is an open reprimand of loving correction than love that is hidden. Faithful are the wounds of a friend who corrects out of love and concern, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful because they serve his hidden agenda. He who is satisfied ruths honey, but to the hungry soul any bitter thing is sweet. Like a bird that wanders from her nest with its comfort and safety, so is a man who wanders from his home. Oil and perfume make the heart glad, so does the sweetness of a friend's counsel that comes from the heart. Do not abandon your own friend and your father's friend, and do not go to your brother's house in the day of your disaster. Better is a neighbor who is near than a brother who is far away. My son, now before I continue, do not abandon your own friend and your father's friend. Pastors, are we together? Some of you tell us that when we go to work, we're not going to make friends. Do you know how God opens doors? Do you know that God is going to use that man and woman at work to open your door? Yes, today you're the manager. Today you're the so-called CEO. Today you own everything. Let me tell you something. If I'm allowed to open my wing like this, what you struggle to get to operate in a particular country, I, Esther Solomon, I just walk in like this, and I get it. That is the joy of being a priesthood. That is the joy of coming from the Levites. That is the joy of being a servant. Because I carry a maid's blood in my body, who is a servant. And God allowed it so that he can take us back up after 60 years of termination. My grandfather was killed at 40. He had 7 children walking. The eldest was 16 years and the last one was 3 years. My dad was 8. The last born was in the womb. He is 60 years now. God remembers the house after 60 years. Isaac gave birth at 60. When my birthday came, it was on 1st November. Instead of celebrating my birthday, I ended up in hospital. One of my nephews was sick. He was admitted back in Uganda. He was admitted on the 27th. I ended up in hospital on the 28th of October 2024. On the 22nd of October 2024, I ended up in hospital. I landed in my country after 8 years on the 18th. It was a Friday. And on the 22nd, I ended up in hospital. And on the 23rd, I got married. And on the 28th, I was taken back to hospital. And I was put on injections until the 31st of October. And on 1st November, I made 40 years. The devil has been fighting my 40 my whole life. Because every time I would make a year, there was a monitoring spirit. This time round, I was like, because I know where I come from. I know the foundations. I know the lineage. I know the legacy. I did my investigations to find out what is wrong with me before I blame it on anyone. Because I would have blamed my parents. I would have blamed my aunties and uncles. I would have blamed my friends. Because we love the blame game. I don't do that. When I came to the US, they told us, the green card holders, low-income earners who don't qualify for Obamacare, neither of Medicaid. I've been going to the free clinic until this year in June. My privileges ended. The company I work for has not yet approved me for insurance. I have to wait for January 25th. But someone wants me to leave the company, so they are forcing me out. I don't have insurance. The green card I carry, I no longer carry it, by the way, has conditions. I add value to the economy. I am not entitled for food stamps. I am not entitled for anything free. I have worked my way to the top. I started working in August 2017. And I have worked my way to the top. I just walk and I work. Even when I'm feeling low, even when I'm sick. I've never missed work. When you don't see me at work, I called off or I went for vacation, which was this year. 5 good weeks. From the 18th of October to the 12th of November. I don't know what they tell you out there about people until you hear the horse talk. It was Balaam hitting the horse. Have you ever read a story of Balaam and Barak? Numbers 23. That's what it means. That wait for the horse's mouth. But when the horse comes out to speak, you keep beating it. Careful. I am a horse that can allow you travel the world. Those other horses that can't help you travel the world, I protect them. Because immigrants, you don't know who you are. You are a slave. You brought yourself. Now it is self-imposing. You imposed slave trade on your lives. Because you don't wear the army uniform. You don't wear the army uniform. You don't read the word of God. You think everything should be on a plate. My friend, we shall serve you the food. We are the servants. Let me give you the food and I'll leave. They said verses 10, do not, that is Proverbs 27 verses 10, do not abandon your own father, let's go back to 9. Oil and perfume make the heart glad. So does the sweetness of a friend's counsel that comes from the heart. Most of you come, I speak my mind. Me, I waste time with a man and a woman who speaks their mind. Oh, please. I know who sits in their mind. It is your brain which is full of knowledge. That is why when you get an accident, your brain powers you. When the heart pops out, it comes out whole. Your brain powers it. And the heart is protected in a cage. When they take your body to the morgue, they open it carefully and remove, and the heart is still whole. It is like your palm. It is very small, but it carries love. It carries God. When a heart does not carry God and love, I hear people speak their minds and shout on top of their heads. And they say rotten things with rotten morals. They curse you. And they destroy your reputation because they are all annoyed and depressed. They have failed in marriages. They have failed in school. They have failed in the economy. They have failed in government. They have failed in family. They have failed in media. They have failed in church. You are just a failure for 7 years. Can't you stop being a failure? Everything you touch fails. So you come out to destroy people because you failed in your marriage. Now you're saying marriage is bad. You keep on motivation that's about money. You have failed in finances. You failed in economics. You're not an economist. You just go to work to get money and don't pay taxes because you work with the World Bank, because you work with the UN. You don't pay taxes. How can I talk to someone who doesn't pay taxes? That is why you heard, the tithe, the pastors are thieves. I don't blame you. I can't blame you, my friends. You don't pay taxes. Why should I blame you? Why should I blame you? You just get food stamps, those who are abroad. You get things on credit all the time. You don't know a debit card. Why should I blame you? You're always on borrowed time. And you don't know how to use the borrowed time. Hezekiah got to borrowed time. They were 15 years. Now with your car age. Because you're walking in sin. You're making the wrong decisions, Tata Mama. When you make mistakes and you don't correct them, but you love correcting others, trust me. I always tell my people, I tell you your mistake and you tell me for you don't make mistakes. It is well with my soul. You can correct all my mistakes because me, when I make a mistake, it is global. It will take out a nation. But since you're not at the same level as me, I agree to stay isolated. I agree to stay isolated so that I don't make mistakes with you and your small kids whom you've raised wrong. I hear my son does not make mistakes. Then don't bring your son in society. Don't bring your small daughter. She does nothing. It is us to raise them like this. For them, their platforms are closed and some of them are not even on social media. As a father, you also, they just do everything for you. Esther tented diriwo. Whose money is not there? You're on borrowed money. You're on grants from people who pay taxes. Oh, please. Give me a break. You are a manager. What do you do? As a manager, what do? You fire and hire because the company is yours. I applied for a job I applied to God to get a job as I leave. Let me read for you my letter. Pray that I find it close here, because I met it again. It's not here. I'll read it probably when I come back. Someone touched my timetable because they love playing around and confusing everything and making me pay for other people's mistakes. Now I have to come back at 4, yet I have school to attend, and I have to prove a point that I'm in school. Yet the company I work for encourages us to go back to school. When you are a manager, careful with your mouth. Careful with your tracks. I love protecting people, but at this rate, I am not your mother. Now, if you're the type who steps on people in family, in government, in church, at your workplace, because you are the authority, let me tell you something. I am the authority because I am the author. When you are the principal author, you have all the powers, because God gave us the power. God gave us the authority. God gave us the authority. Now you're asking me where I get the authority. Don't you have this at home? Isn't today a Sunday? When I walk, it is authority walking. I don't fear entering a door, because I know, because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know He holds my future, and life is worth a living just because He lives. God sent His Son. They called Him Now you're going to celebrate Christmas for what? Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because He loved me first. Nego manyokurira kulinya lya Yesu. Tewali nalimu kunsi eririfanana. Haleluya nga mwagala Yesu, nga mwagala Yesu, nga mwagala Yesu, yasoko kwagala nze. Litegeza omulokozi where I fall. Until Christ dies in your life, you cannot celebrate His birth. How do you celebrate a birth when you don't celebrate the death? You love me when I'm a baby. When I am old, you destroy me until when I die so that you can laugh and cook the food. Some of you come to wait for our burials to confirm that we are dead. Then you open our caskets and the media tells everyone what was wrong with you. When I am walking with you, don't want to know what is wrong with me. When I am walking with you, when we are hired here, the company is supposed to know your challenges in health and they keep it confidential. As a manager, you should know that. As a father, you should know that. Because when you bring a child in your house, they're supposed to know the history. In hospitals, they do that. In my country, we don't just do pap smear. In the US, you're forced to do a pap smear. I told the free clinic in 2018, I advised the leadership in the free clinic, Arlington Free Clinic. I told them, you cannot force a girl to do a pap smear. The fact that it is free, you don't force anyone in hospital to do what they don't want. I come from a country where we have virgins, because I am one for 39 years. It ended on the 23rd of October 2024, and I am proud because I was raised by a mother and a father who respects God and says no sex before marriage, because it is purity. God works with purity. If your father and mother did wrong with you, go sort it out on their graves if they are dead, or go sort it out with them. We are used to kids abusing their parents on social media. We are used to wives abusing their husbands. We are used to men abusing their wives and beating them up in society, and then they put them on camera. It is because you're raised wrong. You don't have roots. I know the law and I know how it works. When I keep quiet, and I'm not stupid. I keep quiet because I have an advocate. I have a defense who meets you at the offense. My defense wall, when I open my wing like this, there are 74 of us. Careful. Which multiplied into times 1,000. Make sure you can handle whoever I work with. There are 7,000 of us. Plus number 4. So there are 7,400 of us. Careful. Litegeza omulokozi weafa kurange ero kufa kokwe sonyi kwa mfulo we dembe haleluya nga mwagala Yesu nga mwagala Yesu nga mwagala Yesu yasoko kwaga alanze erinya lyolinsanyusa mubire byenaku era wembanga nkoye nnyo linzizama amanyi. Hallelujah. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus, because he loved me first. Kanyibega nyone sanyu awamune subi kubanga Yesu ya ngamba tinkomawo magu. What a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arm. What a blessedness, wasanyukira mu bulamu bwange ngandi mwoyo ayinza byonna funa omukisa n'emirembe ngandi mwoyo ayinza byonna gwe nywera 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 owangule nga mu linnya lyo nywera 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 mwoyo ayinza byonna kubo lyeriye tesanyu lingi kubanga atukulembera omusana gwe gwaka bulijjo kubanga atukulembera gwe nywera nywera onywera owangule nga mu linnya lyo nywera 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 mwoyo ayinza byonna kintu kyekiyinza okuntiisa nga ndi mwoyo ayinza byonna mbeera n'eddembe lingi bulijjo nga ndi mwoyo ayinza byonna. What a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arm. What a blessedness, what a privilege, leaning on the ever. As I conclude, when the roll is caught up yonder, 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 I'll be there. Akagombe bwe kalivuga ekiseera kiwedde, olunaku olulungi bwe lulikya, banunule nga bakuŋŋanye mu mutaala w'omugga, nga bayita mannya nange ndibayo. Bwe baliyita amannya, bwe baliyita amannya, bwe baliyita amanya, bwe baliyita amanya ndibayo. Leka tumukolere Mukama okuzibya obudde, twogere ku bulungi bwe bulijjo, bulamu buno bwe buli gwe emirimu gikome, nga bayita mannya nange ndibayo. Ti bwe baliyita amaina, bwe baliyita amaina, bwe baliyita amanya, bwe baliyita amanya ndibayo. Heavenly Father, we give you praise, we give you glory, we give you honor, we thank you for today. All I have is to say thank you, because without you I wouldn't make it this far. Without you I wouldn't make it from 0 to 40. But because you live, I can face tomorrow. Because you live, I am here to face today. Lord, as I go to work, go before me, go beside me, and go before me, and deal with all my enemies, and deal with all my destroyers, and deal with every man and woman who thinks they can destroy me at work. They can destroy my reputation. They can make me pay for their own mistakes, then blame me for it. Lord, go before me. There is a man and a woman out there going through the same thing. Father, go before us. Go before us, Lord. Those who are natives in the nations and those who are immigrants, Lord, go before us. No one deserves to be disrespected. No one deserves to be destroyed, especially in the month of November, December, January, February, March. No one deserves to be disrespected from January to November to December. No one deserves it. No one deserves it. No one deserves to be crying at work because of a manager. No one deserves to be crying at work because of work colleagues. No one deserves to be crying in the family because of selfishness and people who are thieves. No one deserves to be crying because of their father and mother. If we are crying out to the Lord to forgive us all our sins. To forgive us all our sins and our trespasses, Lord. But if we don't forgive others, you can never forgive us. I give you praise, I give you glory. I plead the blood of Jesus. I seal this class in the blood. I seal myself in the blood. Whoever will watch when I'm not here, Father, touch their hearts. Because it's a double-edged sword. It has to cut me and the receiver for your name to be glorified. I give you praise, I give you glory. In Jesus' mighty name I believe and pray. I sign out. My classes ended. I'm doing my PhD. Hope you do your PhD too before your candle burns out for you to be promoted to the next level in heaven. I sign out. Bye-bye.